We'll start in a minute.
Sure, Vanita. Not many have joined. I'm not sure why. Maybe we
Yeah.
can give it 2 more minutes, probably.
Yeah, sure.
It's just 2:31 now. So,
Everybody was joining.
yeah, people are trickling in. So,
Good afternoon, Vanita.
Good afternoon. We'll start in a minute. Let's give 1 or 2 minutes, then we'll start. Okay, we'll start with the prayer. Let them to join later. Close your eyes. Cross your legs, palms together. Pray to the God, Goddess, and all your gurus to seek a blessing for today's lesson. Your eyes. I hope you can hear me well, right? You're not hear me? How is
yes,
that?
we can hear you, Vanita. Yes, very clear.
See my screen also, right?
Yeah.
That's awesome then. Okay, we'll start with one different. Before we getting into a lesson, how is our homework is going on? The 2 minutes homework. Everybody can able to see the planetary motion every day.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, then I'm going to change the screen to add on into the homework. Still, we are going to see the daily planetary motions positions only. Still, we are keeping an eye on the Chandra only. But in addition to that, what are the things we are going to do? There are the 2 more things we are going to do. One is, everybody knows their Lagna, right? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. From your Lagna, find the position of the Chandra. From your Lagna, consider your Lagna was in the Tula Lagna. Then in this today, Tula Lagna is in, where is it? Okay. First, Tula Rasi. Okay, from your, go with the Rasi, don't go with the houses. Okay, go with the Rasi, Tula Rasi. From the Tula Rasi, how many houses the Chandra was in now, today? Consider if you are in a Tula Rasi, that means the Chandra was in from your natal chart, the Chandra is in your Tula Rasi. Tula Rasi means, what is that meaning? Internal meaning is Chandra is present in your natal chart. That means at the time of your birth, Chandra is positioned in the Tula Rasi. Okay. So from there, find the number of houses the Chandra was in the today's chart. Okay, now the Tula Rasi is here. How many houses is the far away from your Rasi? 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Yes or no?
Vanita, just one clarification. So, we should start from the Lagna or the house in our chart where moon is present.
Don't go with the moon now.
Okay. So it's the Lagna.
Okay. Then no, again, now I think
Getting confused. Yeah.
okay, now this is not the right time then. Okay, wait a second. Then we will go with the only one homework. Actually, we have to go and see the 2 things only. From your Lagna, how the Chandra was. From your Rasi, that means in your moon, from your natal chart, where is the Chandra is. There is a trick here. I will tell you this later. I thought to practice from now on. I don't want to confuse here for your homework. Okay, then leave it this point. Okay, then at the other part of the homework is in which paksha we are in. We are in a Purva Paksha, Ramara Paksha, that means a Paurnami or an Amavasya, Shukla Paksha, Krishna Paksha. Paksha means 15 days. 15 days means we are going to see what is that 15 days in 2 minutes. So in the next week, in addition to your 2 minutes homework, what you are going to see, you are going to look into the which paksha you are in. Okay, that's the 1 point add on to that your homework. First, what you are going to do every day, you open your everyday planetary position chart and look into the Chandra. Then your job was done. Then additionally, what you are going to do, the last week homework, which nakshatra the Chandra was in. Today the Chandra was in the Dhanishta. And who's the nakshatra lord? Mangal. That is SIVA is your nakshatra lord. This is the last week homework. In addition to that, what are you going to see? In which paksha we are in. Okay, that is the one thing we are going to add. This thing clear? Three
Okay.
things we are going to do in 2 minutes homework. Yes or no, everybody?
Yes.
Just Vanita, I just repeat, I didn't follow. Today it is you want to do every day?
Okay, this is the everyday chart. Today is every day the planetary position will be there, right?
Give example, today's example. Yes, today
This is
show us
the
how to do.
okay. See,
I
today
saw.
is the December 17th, right? Do you see the screen of
Yeah,
the
yeah.
December 17th? Okay. Now,
Yeah.
when I consider today, which I'm going, when I'm going to do the homework. Okay. Now I open the everyday position, planetary position. Then the December 17th will come for me. Then from there, first thing what I'm going to do, in this chart, I try to locate where is the Chandra. Where is the Chandra here? Okay. Then I find out. Okay, the Chandra was in the Makara Rashi. Okay, then I find it. Then next step, what are you going to do? Come down to the table, find the row of the Chandra. The Chandra is in the third row, right?
Yeah, the Makara Nakshatra.
Yeah, then the Makara, from that, find the Nakshatra. Nakshatra is the Dhanishta. Then follow in the same row, find the Nakshatra Lord. Nakshatra Lord is Mangal.
Mangala.
Correct? This is the second part of the homework. Then the third part is we have to find out which paksha we are in. That means you are in Shukla paksha or in the Krishna paksha. That means if you are going the day which is going towards the full moon or the day which is going towards the new moon.
Yeah. Now it is Shukla Paksha actually. Now actually Shukla Paksha.
Why it is Shukla paksha?
Because coming in moon is coming. Full moon.
Yeah, the new moon is and the December 12. So now the December 17. So not at the 15 days was finished. So still we are in the Shukla Paksha. So once the full moon was done, full moon was 1 day will come, right? Then thereon this Krishna Paksha will start. Okay, this much clear? The homework is simple, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Vanita, can you tell me from where we can open this chart?
For the one which you seeing now?
Yes.
Okay, how I did? Okay, let me go from the beginning. Considered I go into the Google.
Okay, you go into Google, not AstroSage.
Search for everyday planetary position. Okay.
Okay.
Mostly I somewhat I familiarized with the Dikbala. I don't know why, because this is the one I using it for very long time. Search for this one. It will comes in the one in your search, the first line itself it will come.
Everyday
Planetary position. Then the first one, click on that. Directly you will landing into the today's chart. Most of the time, it may be in, you can see in the North Indian chart also. If you click on the tab, if you see on the tab on the beginning, in this North, South, and East, go with whichever the chart which we are familiarized. Mostly we are familiarized with the South Indian. So click on the middle one, South. Then you will find out this. Okay.
Thank you, Vanita. Yes.
Now I'm going to switch the screen. Okay. I know everybody was so much interested. Curiosity will increase. There is one question also. What is the significance of the Jeshta? Give me few more weeks. We are in a first year and the basic was not yet done. The basement was not yet finished. Still, there are the few more basics. There are a number of the things we have to cover. Then we will understand significance of the nakshatra in the second year. Why I introduced the nakshatra this year itself? Because when you are familiarizing with the name again and again, no one need to teach you the nakshatra name. When you are reciting day by day, every day, the nakshatra will give you the knowledge to you. No need to gain knowledge from anybody. The nakshatra energy will give you the knowledge to yourself. That's why I ask you to recite the name. No need to understand anything. Just reciting the name will give you that kind of a powerful knowledge. That's why I introduced to see the nakshatra lord, and remember all the 27 nakshatras and who are the lord belongs to which nakshatra. So if you are practicing this one in the first year, the next year will be easy for us. Okay, so this year concentrate only on the names. Don't worry about which significance, how it is important. Don't worry about that. Just remember the name, who's the Lord. That the two things you have to be in a fingertip. Okay. Okay. Now we're coming into the one thing about this is not the part of the today's lesson, but this one I really want to revise you about the tithi, which with the homework is also based on this. So there are the 15, actually 15 tithis, including the Amavasya and Paurnami. It comes under the 16. Okay. Start with the first tithi. That means consider we just crossed the Amavasya, right? That is on the December 12th. So that is your new moon. So that is your last tithi of that paksha. Okay. Then the first tithi will come. What is that? Next day to the Amavasya. That is the first tithi. That is the Pratipada. Then second one, Vidya. Third day, Tritiya. Fourth day, Chaturthi. Fifth day, Panchami. Sixth day, Sashti. Seventh day, Saptami. Eighth day, Ashtami. Ninth day, Navami. 10th day, Dashami. 11th day, Ekadasi. 12th day, Dwadasi. 13th day, Triyodasi. 14th day, Chaturtasi. And 15th, Amavasya. Remember, we started with Amavasya. Now what it will come? Now the 15th day will be Purnima. That is the full moon. And again the cycle starts. The first day is the Pratipada, Vidya, third day Tritiya, Chaturthi, till comes around 14th day Chaturtasi. Now we started with the Purnima. Now what will come on the 15th day? Now it is an Amavasya. Then again the cycle starts. Okay. This is how.
Is there any significance of all these tithis?
Yeah, yes, very much.
Okay.
Okay, in your the one more thing which I ask you to do now itself, everybody have their birth chart in your hand, right?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, see which tithi you were born on.
How do you see the tithi?
Okay, it's a good question. Give me a second.
You have my chart, Vanita?
Yes, I get. Hi, you're Neelam, right? Give me a
Yes,
second.
right.
Give me 1 second. Let's see what. Okay. Okay, I may switch into a screen again. I'm going to Jagannathura. Neelam. Oh no. Neelam, please tell me your date again, date and time. Sorry.
7th January 1953.
7 January 1953.
4:50 4:50 a.m.
Okay.
Karnal, Haryana.
KAR.
Pardon?
KAR, Karnal.
Hanji,
What is the
KARNAL.
NA? Oh, sorry. Karnal, India, but there was two more Karnal. Which one it is?
Haryana, Haryana.
Yeah, let me try one more time. Give me a second.
There's only one Karnal, so I think that is India.
Okay. Yeah, let's go with this one then. So your ascendant was correct.
Ascendant is Scorpio, yes.
Okay, we go with the view. Changing the chart. Okay. If you
Yes,
see on
right.
the bottom of the box on your right hand side, here you can see the Tithi, right? Shukla Dasami. That means you are born on the
10th day.
full phase of the moon. Dasami is the 10th day.
Okay.
Okay, so Tithi is the Dasami. Okay, let me go with any other example which
So the Jagannath Hora has everything basically.
yeah, yeah. And you can find the same thing in every other software. Those are the basic things. Yeah, even the very basic software also will give you the Tithi. If you see the handwritten Jataka in the earlier days, the first thing they will do in which Tithi, which Varsha, and which month, and what is a Tithi. These are all the basic things. They
Okay.
won't miss. Definitely, they won't miss. In any of the Jataka, definitely these things are specifically in it. Okay. Every software has it. Even AstroSage has it. Every astrology software which you are going to use, definitely you can see the Tithi. Okay.
Vanita,
Hmm.
suppose
Hmm.
we download with Astro staging, can we keep it can we store that for that, or we have to every time we have to download that Astro stage? Can we store?
AstroSage is online, right? You no need to
Uh,
download anything. You
so
can
only on that particular day we have to see and then close it.
No, you can download the app on your, and even that also you can save. It says open.
Okay.
So you save,
Okay.
and in that you can open.
Oh, we can download the app.
Yes,
Astro stage app I have to download.
I do it that way.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Can you repeat, Nina, again?
Oh, Nina.
Astro Sage,
Somebody wants to repeat something. What is that?
I said I use the Astro Sage app.
Okay.
For Jagannath Hora?
No, Jagannath Hora
Astrosage.
you have to download. Definitely. Okay, let's come back to it. We will discuss that one later. AstroSage, someone was saying you can also download and do the thing, or else my preference is I always use online. That is easy for me because whatever the things which you are going to store, it will store in the cloud itself. We no need to worry about you can access it anywhere. Okay, this is the Tithi part. This is what which I ask you to do it in the homework. Look into the Tithi every day. Which Tithi in today, what is the Tithi? That is much more important. Okay, then I ask you to, I don't want to say this now because this I'm going to include it in the homework in upcoming days, but I will give you the hint. Based on your Tithi, I will ask you to see yourself. This will give you the different kind of signs, how you can understand yourself. The 1 to 15 days of the full moon, 1 to 15 days of the new moon, it was totally different, which you can't even imagine. How it will be different because of the moon's energy, which you are going to acquiring by any one of the native, that will be different from the full moon, which we are going to observe in the new moon phases. So that this one will include in the homework later on. I don't want to give you too much today. And remember this one, find the Tithi of every day. Okay. Now we are moving into the today's lesson. Till
Vanita,
now
1
we
minute.
are.
1 minute. Tithi, you told in the calendar directly will get no. So you mean to say I
Yes.
should, you mean the
You don't need
calendar?
to. Yes. No,
We
why
know
I
it
ask
is
you
even
to?
by hearted actually. Every day we know today it is Panchami. Yesterday it was Chauthi,
Ah,
today Panchami. So that will become like by-hearted. So you mean to say we should go once again?
Just to see, if you are having a habit of seeing the Tithi every day, that's totally
Every
awesome.
day we are going to
Then-
see the Tithi. Yeah.
Yes, then you go on with your face. That's more
Okay.
than enough. Okay,
Okay,
I just
okay.
want you to
Okay.
familiarize with the Tithi. Okay,
When
why I ask you to see your Tithi from your born? Because that Tithi which you are born and the day which you are in the Kochara, that means the every day, it has a relation. That's we will learn later on. But before that, you have to understand two things: which Tithi you are born and what is the today's
Okay.
Tithi. These two things you have to know. Then how you are going to relate, that I will tell you later. Okay? Somebody asking something in the middle? No?
Vanita was wanting to know the significance of these tithis. You are going to tell us now?
We will tell you this later on.
Okay.
But this definitely I'm going to give you every Tithi significance one by one, because our portion of today is not relevant with the Tithi, but this one I want to include slow by slow, step by step. The one thing, this is the phase you have to understand what is the Tithi which you are born on and what is the today's Tithi. These two things understand clearly, then I will inject in every lessons. I'm trust me, will go slow. Definitely you will understand everything.
Right.
Okay.
Sure.
Let's move on with the today's class. Okay. We are into the Shadbala. First thing we finished with the Sthanabala, the positional strength. Okay. The position Sthanabala, we know this 5 subsets. So Uchchabala, Saptavargajabala, Uj Hukma Rashi Amshabala, Kendradi Bala, Dreknabala. Okay. We see all the 5. All the common some of this balas value derives the value of the sthana bala. Now we'll move on into the second of the Shadbala, that is the Dikbala. Okay, the Dikbala is a very much interesting one. Why? It quantifies the strength of the planets due to the direction in the chart they are placed. Okay, why why the strength of the planets based on the direction is important, we are going to see now. Okay. Importantly, the planets will manifest themselves mostly when you are placed in the direction that is most conducive. Remember this word all the time. If that planet which is placed in that particular direction, it's most conducive to the natural characteristics. Okay. Before we entering into the what is a Dikbala and significance, we understand one important thing. Okay. I took one of the chart, which is the sample which we are going to use. Why I use a North Indian chart? It is easy to see the Kendra in the diamond 14710. Okay. Now, what is the Lagna? The Lagna represents the east direction when the sun rises. Correct? This one clear? The Lagna is the when you are born. That is the point the sun rises. That Rashi becomes your Lagna. So that is the sun rises. The direction is the east. Okay. Now, before we see into the fourth one, we'll go into the direct opposite. What is the seventh one? 180 degree, we are going down. That means the sun was rise on your Lagna. What will happen? The opposite will happen, right? Sun rises on the Lagna, sun set on the 7th house, correct? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. Then the east is your Lagna. What is the opposite?
7 is
West.
the west.
West is the opposite. Direction I'm asking. East is the direction of your Lagna. East direction is your Lagna. Then the 190 degree go. Then the 7th one, sun sets. Sun rises east, sun sets in the west. So the first house represents the east direction. Then the 7th house represents the west direction. Okay, now coming into the 4th house now. The 4th house represents the night. That means the midnight. You can consider it as a midnight or the night itself. Okay, that is the north or the patala. They in some of the books they clearly mention it is the patala. Then you go exactly direct opposite. If this was the north, what is the opposite direction?
South.
south. Then that 4 is the south, 4 is the north. Then the exact 7th house will be 10th, right? So the
Yes.
10th is the mid-noon. That means noon. It's the day. In the day, the noon. That means south. So the entire day is divided into 4: sunrise, sunset, and the night and the noon. Then the direction also split into east, north, west, and the south. That becomes your Kendra, 1, 4, 7, 10. Okay, here one thing is interesting. See, 1 plus 4, 1, from your Lagna, count 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, fourth house will come, right? From the 4th house, count again 4. 4, 5, 6, 7. 7th house will come. From the 7th, count 4 again. 7, 8, 9, 10. Is that clear? Every 4 house. From the Lagna, 4 houses. So that becomes your Kendra. This is the main direction. Main direction means your east, west, north, and the south. This much clear?
Yes.
Vanita,
Mm,
Vanita,
mm,
I'm not
mm.
comfortable with the north. Can you show it the South Indian chart?
Ah, yeah, sure. Can.
Not familiar with, can't understand. We are familiar with South Indian.
Give me a second. I'm going to change the screen to Jagannath Hora again. Okay, start.
Yeah,
Okay,
please,
you
thank
see
you.
then. Okay, here, which is the first house here?
Yes, and the
Ascendant is the first house. If
First.
ascendant is the Lagna is representing which direction?
East.
East. Okay, now go directly exact opposite, 7th house. Which is the 7th house?
Where,
here?
how can make use this line follow? How it is? It is ascendant is in down here, no? Third, wait, confusion.
No,
No,
don't get confused.
Lagna is dependent on the sunrise. So
Yeah.
that is your
Lagna is
east.
always the sun, east.
Lagna is always the east. So 180-degree opposite will be the west.
Follow.
Okay, simple thing. Don't get confused too much. Maybe I pour on the different information. Go with one information. In
Please
which
keep it and
direction?
repeat.
In which
No,
direction
let us
normally?
no ascendant, madam,
Forgot
ascendant
about
is
the
in.
astrology. Okay, wait.
No, no.
Forgot about the
Vanita.
astrology.
No.
Normally, when in the sun, in which direction it will rise?
East.
East.
Yes, east, right?
Yes.
So the
Yes.
same thing when comes into the astrology. Okay, when comes into the astrology, if you are seeing for a person, which house it will start? The Lagna will start for the person, right? Lagna is the first house of that particular person. So what
Now,
is a Lagna?
in this particular case, Lagna in Vrishika. Yes, no? Yes.
So that
Yes,
means,
it is in Vrishika.
yeah. So that
Yeah.
means on this day, when this native was born, on this day, the sunrise, that time, the birth time, the sunrise, the east direction belongs to the Vrishika Rashi.
Oh, Vrishika.
This much clear?
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
right.
Now, get hold of the east direction only. Don't bother about anything. Just hold the Lagna belongs to the east direction. From here, we are going to expand. So the Lagna is the east. Okay. Now go 180-degree opposite. That is your 7th house. Correct? From
Yeah.
your east, now coming into from the east, what is the opposite direction?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Vrishika.
Correct. Let's coming into the house later. Now, normally, if this is the east, what is the opposite one?
East is best.
West, right? So now coming into the astrology. Now, Lagna was in the Vrikshika, that we find out Lagna is the east direction. Now go 7th house, that is the 180-degree opposite. So here, this is the Rishabha, right? Rishabha is the 7th house, yes or no?
Yeah.
So that is the west direction.
That direction. Okay.
Okay.
Oh, no.
Now,
Okay.
what are the other 2 directions remaining, main directions?
Yes.
North and
North and south.
North and south. So now, 4th house is the north house. North is the Patala. North belongs to 4th house. So from Lagna, count the 4th house.
1, 2, 3, 4. They said that is Kumbha.
Kumbha. So the Kumbha is the north house for her. Now, from the Kumbha, go exactly 180 degree. That is, from the Kumbha count to the 7th degree, or from the Lagna count to 10th house.
Simha.
Simha will come. So that is the 10th house. Is this the 10th house for her or not? Yes, right?
Yes,
so the
right.
10th, so the 4th house is the north. Then what is the opposite one?
North, south.
South, right? So the 10th house is the south.
Okay. Okay.
This much clear?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, again, I'm stepping into, we'll come back to the Jataka later. I'm again going into the slide. Okay. And now here the question will come. Okay, the 10th house, right? The 10th house is the midheaven. That is, the south direction is the midheaven. Normally, when in the Purana or in any of the Vastu related stuff, we call it as the north is the heavenly location and the south is the Patala. Don't confuse with any other knowledge. Remember this one. North is the Patala that belongs to the 4th house. North 4th. Okay, that's it. Don't get confused or don't get analyzed too much. You won't go anywhere. Okay.
Vanita, once again. 10th house is what?
10th house is the midheaven. Midheaven means it's the noon. It's the noon. That the direction belongs to south. Okay.
Okay.
Now we're coming into the interesting part. Okay, we understand what is the direction east, west, north, south. So that, in other words, Kendra 1, 4, 7, 10 belongs to this direction, east, north, west, south. We understand this point, this much. Okay. Now we'll see what is the Dikbala relating with this direction. Okay. Now we'll see first house, that is your Lagna. If your Lagna was having the Jupiter or the Mercury or the both, okay, then your first house having the Dikbala. That means the Jupiter in the first house or the Mercury in the first house or Jupiter in the first house gives the Dikbala property. What is the Dikbala here? Okay, what we said earlier, the planets will manifest themselves most when they are placed in the direction. That means the Jupiter or the Mercury, which is in the east direction, then that is most conducive to the natural characteristic. Okay. Okay, now we're getting into the Jataka again. Give me a second. I will need to switch over into Jagannath Pura again. I know one person who having this Jupiter, that is me. I'm going to show the example to you. Anyone having the Mercury in the Lagna, Buddha in the Lagna?
Buddha in the Lagna.
No?
No.
And what my Jagannath Pura is not working properly. I'm going to do it more time. I think I saved it wrongly. Anybody having the Jupiter in the Lagna? No? Okay. This is the one. This is the one chart I know because it's me.
Vanita,
Yeah.
my brother's chart I saw. My brother's chart I saw. Here in Lagna, Simha Lagna, I got Buddha is there.
You know his date and time of the birth?
Pardon?
You know the date and time of the birth? We can see the chart.
Time of birth, yeah.
Okay.
October 1, 1970.
Okay, give me a second. Okay, let's give me hold of the 1 minute. I will show you this chart also. This is the Lagna. In the Lagna, Jupiter only. Okay, then the Jupiter has in the east direction holds to the most conducive energy because it can able to produce the most energy it is in a favorable location, favorable direction. That is the west, the 2 in the Lagna. Okay. Now we'll see one more chart. Okay. So
So
consider
Vanita, just pause for a minute. So how do we know it is favorable? Because it is in east?
only Jupiter and the Mercury. If it was in the Lagna, how I know it is the east? Because the Lagna represent the east.
Oh, okay. So if Jupiter and Mercury is in Lagna, then it is more conducive with.
It
East
holds the
direction is the best direction, right?
What is
So,
that?
when
Jupiter and Mercury are in the Lagna, then the east direction is the best direction for the Jataka, right?
Yes, yes. The planet, for the planet itself, it can able to absorb more energy and gives the energy to the Jataka.
Okay.
Vinita, it could be Mercury and Jupiter together also.
Yeah, yeah, that's awesome one.
Okay.
Okay, they holds the Dikbala. Okay. Okay, but remember one thing, this is the only one point. There are the various things we have to find out. We'll see one by one, but at this moment, concentrate only on the Dikbala. Okay, now we'll see one more chart. Somebody was telling, what is that, October?
Yeah. October 1, 1970.
1970. Time?
3:30 a.m. early morning.
3:30 a.m. What's the place?
In Bangalore.
So, is in the Simmalagna, Mars, Mercury, and Ketu, correct?
Ketu and Buddha. Yeah. Lagna Kuja, Buddha, Ketu.
Wow, awesome. Okay, here this is the different story, but here even then, why I told you this is a different story. The Mercury present with the malefic planet also. Okay, I don't want to confuse here. Let's concentrate only on the Mercury here now. The Mercury is get the Dikbala. The Mercury was in the good position that can able to absorb the good energy and give it to the Jataka. The Mercury is in the good. But when you see all together, the Lagna, which is 3 grahas present in it, Mars, Ketu, and the Mercury. The dominance here is the 2 malefic planets, Mars and the Ketu, and the Mercury. Then later on, we are going to see if the Simmarasi, when these 3 planets is for the Simma is the Surya is the Graha, is the friend to these 3 planets or not? Okay, let's stop the conversation here. Now we'll see the Mercury only. Mercury pulls the Dikbala. Why I add that point also? Don't stop here because the Mercury get the Dikbala. But we have to also see what are the is the Mercury present in this Rasi along with whom, and is the friend to the owner of that Rasi or not? We'll see that later. Okay. Now this is
So
the
is it good
good
now?
one to see.
Vanita, is it good? This is good?
Of course
Is
it is.
Mercury is good?
Yeah, of
Mercury
course it is. Because still it was in the friend to Surya and the Mars and the Ketu. Okay, it's too early to say. I will stop here. I will store. Can I store this Jataka? Is that okay for
Yeah.
you?
Yes.
Okay. What is his name?
Dwarki.
What is it?
Dwarkanath.
Okay. Okay. Dwarki. Okay. I stop the sharing and move on to the slide one more time. Wait, this is about the Jupiter and the Mercury. Now we're moving on to the 4th house. Okay. In the 4th house, we will see when the moon and the Venus, which is present in the 4th house, that is the most conducive for these 2 planets. Moon and the Venus. Anybody have the moon and Venus in the 4th house?
Vanita, I have Mars and Venus.
Mars and Venus in the 4th house. Okay.
And my ascendant lord is Mars.
Okay, anybody having only the moon or the Venus without any graha present in it? Because we have to
From
see this
Lagna, it should be there.
combination.
Fourth house from Lagna.
No, the Lagna is only for Jupiter and the Mercury. Now we are
Fourth house from
moving
Lagna.
into the. What is it?
Yes. Fourth
Now
house we
we'll
have to see,
see.
no?
Yeah, now we'll see the 4th house. Okay, let's going to see some of the chart now. Okay, again I go into Jagannath Pura. Remember, the 4th house is good for Moon and Venus.
I have a chart, Vanita,
What
wherein
is
the
the
fourth house is Venus.
okay, date and time?
Date is 16th January
Mm-hmm.
1977,
Okay, time?
4:03 a.m.
6:03. Wow, so much accurate. What's the city name? What's the place?
Kanpur. 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 Kanpur.
Okay. Okay, the Vrishchiga is the
Yeah,
Lagna.
Scorpio Lagna, and in the 4th house, Aquarius,
This is Venus. Yeah, this is awesome. Definitely, he or she,
He.
he will be very handsome. Is it right or wrong?
Right.
Hmm. Yeah. Okay. All the properties which is holding by the Venus, they can observe easily. Okay. Probably they have very much interest in the arts and the crafts, or sometimes they may be the prodigy. How he will be? He interested in the arts or not? Arts and culture, or
No,
any
not
kind
really.
of.
Not really.
Not really. Okay. We have to see that. Okay, this is interesting one. The Venus is in the 4th house. At this point in time, this Jataka will definitely, no matter what happens, can observe the good significance of the Venus.
Why do you
Still, it
waste
was
your
in the
time?
Saturn house. We have to see, because the Saturn is retrograde.
Please keep quiet now. I will not keep quiet. तुझे मेरी बद्दुआ लगेगी समझा?
Oh my God.
I'm not going to keep quiet.
Hello, go on mute, please.
Yeah, I don't know who's speaking. Let me go on mute.
Madam, you have to shut down. You have to go on mute.
Okay, yeah, I get went on mute. Okay, let's go on. So here, the Venus is this kind of the chart. Definitely, they will hold the significance of the Venus much more than the other people's. Okay, remember the Venus and the Moon, which is present in the 4th house. It's a good one, but they hold in the Dikbala. Okay, remember one thing: they hold the Dikbala. That doesn't mean it is the very good planet giving all kind of auspicious to the native. We have to see some other thing also. But at this moment, we are seeing only the Dikbala. Okay.
This is how he spent his yesterday and this is how he's going to spend his today.
Somebody missed this.
Others on mute, please.
Who's speaking? I can mute from here.
Sanjeev.
Mute us all, I think that's good.
Okay. Okay. I did. Okay, now I again go back to the chart presentation one more time. Okay, now we're moving into the 7th house. If the 7th house, which is what is the direction of the 7th house?
West.
Okay, if the west, that is the 7th house, holding the Saturn in it, if the Saturn posited in the 7th house, that have the Dikbala. Okay. Mostly what we have an impression like the Saturn is the bad planet, and it will give you all kind of the bad thing in your life. It will give you the most tragedy in your life. No, it was not like that. Even the guru can give you the bad thing in your life if it was placed in a very bad position. So that what is the thing, what I'm trying to say here is all graha is not a good graha, all graha is not a bad graha, particularly Saturn. Okay, if this was placed in the 7th house, then that will be a Dikbala for the Saturn. Okay, let's move on into the 10th house. That is the midheaven. What is the midheaven direction?
It's the south, right?
South. That is the 10th house.
10th
Yes.
house.
If the Sun and the Mars are present in the 10th house, then that becomes the Dikbala for these two planets, Sun and the Mars. Okay. So in your chart, try to find out you have the any Dikbala for in your chart, or consider it as a homework. Don't look into any other chart. If you have the chart, go ahead and revise. Go ahead and see a number of the chart. That's totally awesome. But before seeing anybody, see your chart first. You have the Dikbala or not. How you can easily see? Go into the 1, 4, 7, 10 houses. Then you know already first house, Jupiter and Mercury. Yes or no? Tick. Fourth house, Moon or Venus. Yes or no? Tick. Seventh house, Saturn. 10th house, Sun or Mars. This one you have to be remember. It should be in your fingertip most of the time. Why? When you see the chart, you can easily able to understand whether this Jataka having a Dikbala or not. How you can able to derive that? When you know that 1, 4, 7, 10 and the relevant planets, then you can understand this Jataka holding the Dikbala or not. Okay. Now we'll move on into the third one, that is the Kalabala. Okay, the Kalabala relates to the time of the birth. First, the Dikbala, what it was saying, it is the direction. It is based on totally based on the direction. Now the Kalabala, what it will say, from the time of the birth, it's based on the time of the birth. Then they classified into 6 subsets. Then all the subset values are calculated together, summed it up, and then the finally Kalabala will be derived. Okay, then you can ask how it will be derived. Okay, there are 6 subsets. One is the Nattu and Bala, Paksha Bala, Tribanga Bala, Varsha Bala, Marsha Bala, Dina and Hora Bala. We are going to see only 1 or 2 today. We'll see that later on in the next sessions. Okay, first thing is the Nattonata Bala, means from your birth time, right? Consider the time distance of your birth time to the midnight. This is the significance. Try not to confuse with anything. From your birth time to the midnight. That is the time distance. Okay, considered. This is the midnight. Consider all the time. This is the midnight. Okay, you are born in here. Then the distance between you from your time of birth and the midnight will be this much. Okay, then you have to find out what is that distance means here. If the Moon, Mars, and the Saturn, here there are okay, see one thing here in this Bala, we are not considering the Rahu and Ketu for the Dikbala also. Why? Because they are the shadow planets. We no need to consider in the Dikbala or in this Bala also. Kalabala also no need to consider that. So totally how many planets will have? Sun, Moon, Mars, Jupiter, Venus, Saturn, and the Mercury, right? So here we are going to group these 7 planets, exclude the Rahu and Ketu now. Okay, group the 7 planets into 3 groups. First, let's have the Mercury, because the Mercury have the dual nature. So leave the Mercury. Now we have only the 6 planets. From that 6 planets, take out the Moon, Mars, and the Saturn. This belongs to one group. Sun, Jupiter, and Venus belongs to other group. Okay. Moon, Mars, Saturn. Remember this all the time. Moon, Mars, Saturn, one group. Sun, Jupiter, Venus, another group. Okay. What is the significance here? These 3 planets, Moon, Mars, and Saturn, become stronger when the birth is closer to the midnight. Okay. So imagine you born on the 11:30 p.m. That moment you were born, your time of birth is closer to the midnight or not? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. Then for that Jataka, the Moon, Mars, and Saturn having the stronger, in the Jataka, they become stronger. These 3 planets become stronger. Now, considered one Jataka was born on 11:30 a.m. That means day. it closer to the midday, right? Midday is your noon. So the Sun, Jupiter, Venus is stronger when your time of birth is closer to the midday. How much closer? It depends on the calculation. If the distance was longer, the strength is also reduced. If it was closer to the midnight, the Moon, Mars, and Saturn will be stronger. If it is closer to the midday, Sun, Jupiter, Venus become stronger. Okay, the Moon is the peculiar one, and it won't mind of anything because of the dual nature. That is the unique ability. It is stronger regardless of the time of day or night. It will be stronger throughout the day and night. The entire full day, it will be stronger because of the dual nature. Otherwise, Moon, Mars, and Saturn stronger when it is closer to the midnight considered. So this is not that much strong. This is the midnight. Imagine the center line is the midnight. Okay. So if you are born in here, your birth time will be 3 p.m. So the distance will be much higher, right? Consider this is the 11:30 p.m. Let me try to draw. Okay, this is 3 p.m. and here it is 11:30 p.m. Okay, so this is the midnight. For in both charts, this is the midnight. So this is that much closer. Then for this Jataka, Moon, Mars, and Saturn will be stronger naturally. It no needs any other combination. Naturally, it becomes stronger. Then suppose in case if this is the midnight, consider this is the mid noon. Okay, if the person was born on the 11:30 or 11 a.m., then the distance between your time of birth and the mid noon will be lesser, right? Then the Jupiter, what are the other planets? Sun, Jupiter, and Venus become stronger. This much clear?
Okay. So basically, this is the time of birth versus whether it is close to midnight or midday.
Yes, correct.
Okay,
Vanita,
got
like
it.
mine is 4:50 a.m. Where does that come?
Okay, 4:50 a.m. It is comparatively, it is not much closer to the midnight because the 4:30 hours above the midnight. And midday also, consider you maybe in your chart, Moon, Mars, and Saturn will hold the stronger power than the Sun, Jupiter, and Venus. Why? See, the midnight is the 12 a.m. You born on the 4:50 a.m. Then the midday will be the 12 p.m. So the distance between these two comparatively, for you, the Moon, Mars, and Saturn become stronger.
Okay. Okay.
Vinita, we are saying distance between 12 a.m. and 12 p.m. So if somebody is in the middle, what happens?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If somebody was
Strength
born
will
on,
not be so high.
Yeah, it will be in the, it's not be in the prominent, if you can't say, okay, the Moon, Mars, and Saturn has a whole great power.
Neither there in the center. So that is normal, not strong.
Yeah, they won't get the much stronger sense. It was like, okay, it was in the balanced, the energy will be balanced.
Okay, but tell me one thing. If
it was in a midnight.
Okay.
Go ahead,
In one Jataka, if in one Jataka it is closer to midnight, I mean, say when we say 12 midnight, so it is like 11:30, and another one is 11. So we will say they are stronger in the 11:30 one because they are closer. I mean, they're numerical values, or how is it?
Relative, right? It is relative. 11:30, it will be more stronger than 11.
Madam,
but
madam,
how,
my
will there
birth
be
time
some
is 11. Madam, my birth time is 11:30, madam. So you are saying Moon, Mars, and Saturn are good, supposed to be strong for me?
11:30 a.m. or p.m.?
PM.
Yeah, for you, The Moon, Mars, and Saturn hold the strong power.
Okay, thanks.
So any numerical value?
Irrespective of the debilitation and exaltation?
No. When you are when you are considering studying the Bala, don't confuse with one another. Anyway, we are going to place on top of each other only. But this is the moment. Don't combine one Bala into another Bala. The Ucha Bala, which we see earlier for a Sthana Bala, that is totally different. Now we are seeing the time of it's a time birth related.
Okay.
The one which we saw, the debilitation or exaltation, it is depends on the graha which is placed in the which rashi. Okay, that is totally different. Don't confuse with both the things. Both the things, and naturally they are different. Okay, that's why the Shadbala calculation is little bit complicated and complex. But now the software was doing for us. That's why we are understanding only the definition. Okay, but don't confuse with that point. That one is the Uchabala strength was totally different. This is the time related. When your time of the birth is that is it closer to the midnight or closer to the midnoon? Simple thing. Don't get too much confused. The time of birth you have in your hand, is that the closer to the midnight or closer to the midnoon? If it was closer to the midnight, then these three planets will get stronger. And if it is the mid-noon, closer to the mid-noon, then the Sun, Jupiter, Venus will get stronger. That's it. Don't get confused. Don't add too many points into it.
Right.
Okay, we'll still have 3 more minutes. I will come.
Number to give the strength, or just we know that it's stronger?
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Don't get anything. Why here the stronger and weaker be giving much more importance? Because when you are trying to calculate the bala for the time related, this point have to be summed up. How we are going to sum it up? Considered based on the Mars, based on your time of the birth in the midnight or mid-noon, the distance, the Natunata Bala will be calculated. Imagine it was the 5 rupa. Then the Paksha Bala will give different values. Then the Tripanga Bala will give different values. All together sum it up and it will give you the Kalabala. Okay. Then in addition to the Kalabala is the third one, right? We are going to see in the other 3 balas later on. So all together sum it up will give you the Shadbala. Okay. So this is the one single part, tiny part of this calculation.
Okay.
So when you see into the Paksha Bala, okay, now that we are coming into related to what we see in the beginning of this class about the Tithis. The Paksha Bala means measure the time in terms of the lunar phase. Lunar phase, what is the meaning of the lunar phase? 15 days of the full moon day, 15 days of the new moon day. This is one Paksha from the full moon to the new moon, that is your Krishna Paksha. New moon to the full moon, that is your Shukla Paksha. How you can easily understand that? How you can easily remember that point? Okay, remember the Krishna. Krishna belongs to the thick blue color. Some people will say it's a black color. It's not black. It's a thick blue because he has that kind of a divine energy. So the Krishna Paksha means it was the darkest. Imagine it was in the Shukla Paksha, from the full moon to the new moon. That is it's decreasing phase of the moon. Shukla Paksha means it was in the growing phase of the moon. From the new moon, it grows towards the full moon. Okay, there is a Shukla Paksha. There is also one more word for this, Amara Paksha, Purva Paksha. Amara means it's the Krishna Paksha, Purva Paksha means Shukla Paksha. Both the words interchangeably they will use. Okay. In most of the calendars, you will see the Shukla Paksha and Krishna Paksha only. Okay, if you see in the marriage, before starting the marriage, they return the invitation, right? I don't know how many of people will doing that, but because in South India, it is in every marriage they will do. They write the marriage invitation, not like the one which we see given to the friends. They write the marriage invitation. In that marriage invitation, they will write everything in which paksha and which tithi this marriage is going to happen. Okay. I cut short the story, come back here. Pakshabala. In the Pakshabala measures the time in terms of the lunar phase. This is the one different thing. In the Kalabala, first thing what we see, it's based on the time. It is based on the time, it's based on your time of your birth to the midnight or the midnight. Now the Pakshabala will tell you the lunar phase. Okay. Now tell me, what are the benefics? What are the benefic planet?
Venus,
Hmm.
Jupiter.
Then
Mercury is like neutral.
and then moon. When the moon was in,
Moon is again like when
is
it is in
present in
Shukla
the,
Paksha, it is beneficial, and then when it is
yeah,
in Krishna Paksha, it
yeah,
is malefic.
correct. And what are the malefic planets?
Rest of them like Mars,
What are the
Sun,
rest of
Moon,
them? Sun, Mars,
Saturn.
Saturn, Rahu, Ketu.
Mercury is
Mercury depends on which
depends
planet
on,
it,
yeah.
Neutral and
it's
moon also
present.
Shakti Paksha and Krishna Paksha, you see.
What is it? What are you saying?
Mars, Sun, Saturn,
Mm,
Rahu, Ketu, and
mm,
Mercury is again neutral.
mm. Okay, you
And
remember one Jataka we saw in this class. In the ascendant, the Mercury is even then the Mercury in the Lagna is having a Dikbala, but present with the Mars and the Ketu. Both are many malefic planets.
yes.
Yes or no? Okay.
Yes.
Here comes the interesting one. Okay, now we'll see first malefic. Malefic will manifest most when the birth is close to the new moon, that is the Krishna Paksha. When it was in the Krishna Paksha is going on, the phase is the 15 days of the phase is the Krishna Paksha. Then if it was the malefic planet will manifest most. But some of the books and some of my teachers were telling me this one. When the 15 days, it's for our convenience. We understand this one. But the malefic planets will be most manifest when it was closer to the new moon, that is the Krishna Paksha. And they have the same kind of an effect after the new moon also for few more days. But don't get confused at this point. I just want to give you this as an information. Don't get overwhelmed with this information. Okay. Now we're getting into the simplified version. Malefics will manifest most when the birth is close to the new moon. Okay.
Which means negative effect will be more towards Amavasya, right?
No. There was no negative here. Here, considered Sun is the malefic planet. We'll go one by one. Sun is the malefic planet. Consider the Jataka is born on closer to the Krishna Paksha. Then what is it meaning? The sun will hold the greater power because it consumes it. It's a favorable point, a favorable time for him to absorb more energy and give it to the Jataka. So that means the sun is getting stronger because the Jataka was born closer to the Krishna Paksha, even though it is a malefic planet. But the power is getting stronger. Then you may ask, if the power is getting stronger, what is the side effect? What is the benefit? The side benefit is the Jataka will become good in administration. They have the good authority to handle everyone. What is the side effect? They have the higher ego. They dream everything. They dream no one can imagine. Even if it was not achievable also, they have the greater dream. Okay. So this point you understand, right?
Okay, got it. Yeah.
Okay, now we'll go into one more planet. Mars is the malefic planet. Imagine one Jataka was present closer to the Krishna Paksha. That means closer to the that means the Mars energy will get higher and higher because it was closer to the Krishna Paksha. So what that will become for that Jataka? What is the significance of the Mars energy?
Mars is
Action, energy.
commander.
Yeah, Mars is the commander, great warrior. and he have the courage immensely. He hold the great courage in him. That kind of an energy will be manifest with the Jataka. But what is the side effect? He will getting into an action without thinking. Getting into an action with blind eye. That is one side effect. If the Mars was higherly into stronger position. Okay. Now we're getting into the benefics. Benefic will manifest themselves mostly when the birth is close to the full moon. That is the Shukla Paksha. So, okay. Here comes the interesting thing. What are the benefics here? Moon, growing phase.
Mars is it? Or
No, benefics only. What are the benefics? Mercury depends on which planet
okay.
associated with it, Jupiter and Venus. Okay, imagine one Jataka was born on the Shukla Paksha, was born close to a full moon, Shukla Paksha only. Then the Jupiter will get the strong energy. Okay, what they will do? That Jataka will have a good wisdom, and they have the greater kind of an they are naturally they wise themselves. Okay, they know how to but here the one thing is this is the benefit of when the Jupiter was present in the when the Jataka was present on the Shukla Paksha, the Jupiter will get the greater energy. They will get a greater wisdom. But they won't have, what is the side effect of it? They will give it to everybody. They won't try to use it on them. Even though they live in a hut, they will give the greater wisdom to the world. It was like a Rama. Okay. Consider if it was in the moon, which is in the benefit, it's in the Shukla Paksha. Okay. What that will do, the moon, which is in the Shukla Paksha, definitely the moon and Venus people will beautifully in nature.
Beautiful.
And the moon, which is having the emotional strength is really high. They having the nature of nurturing everybody. But what is the side effect? They try to drain their energy for nurturing others. Okay, consider if it is in Venus. The Venus gets stronger, they definitely well versed in art and culture. They try to be exuberant in everything. They want to get good thing and they had a very good taste. They want to show to the world. What is the difference between the guru of the Jupiter and the Shukra? Shukra, wisdom is along with the ego. Jupiter is wisdom is not with the ego. Okay. This is the Pakshabala based on the lunar phase. If the benefics, full moon, that is the Shukla Paksha, will get manifest most. Malefics towards the Krishna Paksha. Closer to the new moon, they will get much more stronger. Then the stronger, what is a stronger means? The stronger strength, they will get the power, and that will represent in the Shadbala. This much clear?
Yeah.
Okay. Then we are coming into the end of the today's lesson. Any doubts till now?
Lots of doubt, Vanita, but we'll ask next time.
Okay, what are the doubts? We can spend 2-3 minutes.
This Pakshbala only.
What is that?
You said the benefic planets are Venus, Jupiter, and they are there in the chart. How to assess that is going to be a little problem.
Okay, don't worry. You no need to find out this. Find out, okay, based on the Pakshabala, how I can derive the value. You no need to do that. Why? Because now the astrology software, every astrology software give you the Shadbala.
Okay.
This is we are studying only the definitions only.
Basics,
we are not studying that calculation of it. So don't worry about it. If you are studying astrology 20 years, 30 years back, definitely you have to write do all kind of the mathematical calculation to find out the Shadbala. That will take you 1 year of your time. But now you no need to do that. We are studying only the definition. Why we need to study the definition? based on this only, we can understand when we see the Shadbala, we can able to understand, okay, this planet is getting stronger for this Jataka. Why? We know because of the Pakshabala, this particular Jataka born on the full moon, so his benefits were getting higher points, and this particular Jataka born near to the midnight or mid moon, so that's why this planet getting stronger. And based on that, you be able to understand. Now, no need to do any calculation. Why? Because to understand the Shadbala, we need to understand all this kind of the definition.
Right, right, Vanita. Thank you. Thank you.
That's it, right?
Yes, right. Thank you.
Okay, then we'll see you next week.
Thank
Same
you so
time?
much.
Hmm.
Bye.
Anybody
Thank
saying
you.
something? Yeah, thank you.
Thanks.